All right, hello. Happy Sunday. How are y'all? So I wanted to come and talk real quick and to just be my old famous sacrilegious self today on just a regular Sunday. Um, so I wanted to talk about the ridiculousness, the chaos, the confusion of blacks and Christianity. I felt like today would be appropriate to speak about it. Just to let you guys know, this is High Priestess Jamila, and I am a satanic witch. And, I guess some people have an issue with that. I guess I'm embarrassing them in front of their churches. I wanted to come and talk about the utter ridiculousness. I'm not trying to have a serious debate about this, honestly. I think it's the joke of a lifetime. And pretty much what a lot of us are trying to do is just grin and bear it and, live out as much as this life is possible. Now, I have an opinion that nobody should be Christian. So this is not about race at all. I don't believe anybody should be Christian personally. But in particular, it's utterly ridiculous when you see blacks trying to be Christian when it is very blatant in the Bible where it says that blacks are cursed by that God of the Bible, and that black people are to be, I'm not going to say we, because I'm not in there with y'all with that black people are to be subservient to other races on this planet, and that we are to be slaves. That's ridiculous for you to be a black person and Christian. Now, does this mean that you have to be a black person that's angry? No. Does this mean that you have to be a black person that goes out there and attacks other races of people? No. It just means that why are you Christian? Why? That like that God does not like you, let alone love you. And the God that does love you is the one that's ultimately looking out for you. It's not that one. Now, from what I heard, because whenever I ask a black Christian who has the audacity to be judging me, whenever I ask a black Christian, why are you Christian and you're black when you're cursed in that Bible, uh, they make up some kind of excuse about how the curse of Ham was merely added to the Bible and that it wasn't in the original texts of the Bible. Whatever. So and I'm going to be straight up and down and upfront with every black person. I am never ever ever going to believe what you believe, and I'm never going to conform to that. In fact, I would have preferred for my parents or like my father to had rejected that religion altogether. I can just about imagine how different my life would be to this day. And because I was doing some spell work early this morning, and I'm going to be very transparent about this. I feel that because of Christianity, that I pretty much didn't even really get to live a life at all because of the confusion and chaos, taking years and years and years trying to break free of that religion And finally, I ended up with Satan in 2019. It was necessary. Not that I minded. Satan is a great person. Christians will gawk at that, but that's because that's what you were taught. And I have nothing against Christians. I know Christians are pissed off right now because of the president apparently did something to piss Christians off. Basically, I believe that what Biden did was he made today like international, like he's trying to make it like an international day for transgenders, actually. And people were pissed. Y'all should go and look that up. But I don't even, I don't, I mean, I personally don't have anything against transgenders or gay people. I don't, um, at all. In fact, there's a person on TikTok that I follow who is a female to male transgender, and I would be friends with him. So I don't understand what that is. I mean, when it comes to sex crimes, I think that transgenders should uh disclose who they are. I do. But otherwise, I love them just like I love anybody else. Okay. But Christians were pissed. Oh man, they were pissed off about that. They were saying that he was disrespecting their Lord and Savior, the Christ, and all of that stuff. And it just it just it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's very weird. It's it when you like do y'all realize that when I see a black Christian, it literally makes you feel like you're in the Twilight Zone. Simply because it is a known fact that black people are cursed, like double cursed, like that God rejected you. So that's what I don't understand. And I think it's ridiculous for y'all to fear people, for y'all to fear people who have no fear of stepping outside of that box and saying no thank you. Saying no thank you. And I'm not going to do it just to, I'm too real of a person. I'm not going to be Christian just so that people will accept me or like me. I'm not going to do that. I don't need that many people in this world to accept and like me, right? But it just doesn't make any sense. And I believe that it's, hey, good morning, sis. Happy Sunday. I don't celebrate Easter though. I don't celebrate Easter. Hold on, y'all. back. Give me a second. Hold on. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you could say that I celebrate Easter. I do like to dye eggs and stuff, but as far as like celebrating the resurrection of Christ, that's what I'm talking about, sis. I don't yeah. Yeah, but happy Easter to you, sis. Then I get it. I get it. I celebrate the holidays too, but I've already celebrated like Ostara or the spring equinox, but yeah, because Easter is a Christian holiday essentially. And so that's one of the reasons why I don't celebrate it. Like I don't, like I'll say happy holiday like around hold on a minute. Hold on. All right, sorry about that, y'all. So, yeah, I think it's utterly ridiculous for black people to be Christian. That's what I think. And I think that here's one of the reasons why I believe that black people are Christian, okay? Okay, I'm gonna have to block somebody. Give me a second. Yeah, I may have to block somebody that keeps texting me. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sorry, y'all. Somebody's gonna keep texting me because they want to interrupt, and I don't know why they watch me. Has anybody else figured out why these people watch me and they're not even capable of having one intellectual conversation? I don't get it. Um, okay. So I may have to give me a second. I'm sorry because somebody just started messaging me back to back. Okay. So, when you mention it to black people about the curse of Ham and then the other inconsistencies in the Bible, they will pretend that they never read it before. And that's because they haven't. That's because they haven't read it. They've never read the Bible and they don't know. I'm and so it's kind of like I mean, are you doing it for social reasons or what's the deal? And shouldn't oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all, I can't get through this discussion because I so if this person texts me one more time, okay, okay, let me block this person. Hold on. Okay, my bad, y'all. Whoever's watching, I had to block somebody because they're a stupid idiot. Okay, so I actually am quite disappointed. Like, first of all, that's just like, if you're gonna join up with any kind of organization, shouldn't you read everything? Like, it's not like it's a freaking instruction manual. Like, you have the Bible to read, and then when there's evidence in the Bible that, hey, this religion is not for you, you make excuses. You make excuses. And when it comes to black people are almost very uh they are very vampiric in nature. And I noticed that a lot of blacks that are Christian, it's almost like they parasite off of witches. When I'm like, okay, well, why don't you just not be Christian and stop parasiting off of witches? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make no sense to me. But why wouldn't you read the Bible? And when you found out what the what's up was with it, because, and then here's another thing, them trying to make a difference between Christianity and Jehovah's Witnessing when they all use the same Bible. Don't they all use the same Bible? So that pretty much means what? What does that pretty much mean? That pretty much means that it's even though Jehovah's Witnesses are kind of different, but it's still the same. It's still the same energy, it's still the same spirit. And what irritates me is that most of the people that I know are black. Even if I wanted to just stick with pagan gods, which I would never for 1 second ever think about leaving Satan because he's so good to me, okay? And very powerful, very, very powerful. Um, it's still almost like, as a black person, I feel that I have to go there. I have to go to those extremes because of other black people, right? And I'm not even saying that I wouldn't need Satan. That may have already been where I was, headed to. However, they kind of force it because black people that are a part of Christianity, it almost feels as though you can feel the noose tightening around your neck and your chest when it comes to that. And then they get upset and angry because that's a feeling that they are used to. They are used to that feeling. They are used to feeling cursed. They are used to feeling down and out. They are used to feeling that way. And then going to church and then releasing all of their energy and power to this God that already told them that they were cursed. So I don't get it. What are you trying to be? I feel like black people that are Christian are going to the extreme to try to be white. And you shouldn't, like, that's very different from straightening your hair. That's very different from lightening up your skin. That's very different. You need to realize how important your spirituality is, and that you are what you are actually signing yourself up for. Okay. Your religion or spirituality is separate from your aesthetics of your face, or your body. Okay, that's kind of a very deep thing. And for you to just be okay with it, like, I'm not okay with it. And you know what? I know whites that are Christian and I'm good with them. I don't have anything against them. Do I look at them side-eyed? No, because at least they are following a religion that is for them. Now, also another ignorant thing that I see a lot of black men saying is that Jesus was a black man. They always say that Jesus was a black man. Jesus was a black man. Okay. Jesus still got crucified on the cross. And so, yeah, they say that he was resurrected 3 days later and that he ascended into heaven or something, which, I wasn't there to witness it. So I have no idea. I'm not going to believe something and have blind faith in it. For what? Now, do I believe that those events happened? Yeah. And I think that they happened a lot, especially back in those days. Okay. Do I believe in the characters from the Bible? Everybody, yes, I do. But just because I'm a believer doesn't mean that I'm going to go on that side, because that side does not like me or accept me. And this is not about racism. Whoever that God of that Bible is said to hell with black people. Now, do I believe that it's a true God? No, I don't. I feel that that's a false God. Honestly, I believe that the Bible I believe it's a God, but I also believe that the God of the Bible tries to say that that God created the universe, and I don't believe that the God of the Bible created the universe. No, I don't believe that that was the actual creator of existence of life. No, I don't. I believe that that God is a God, but I don't believe that that God created the heavens and the earth. When they were divinating, or whatever you call it, okay, when they were writing down these messages that was supposed to be from God, it turned into a man. That was it. It was just a man and what he was writing down, because the things that is being stated about that God are not God like. Just like God is a jealous God. No. God is an angry God. God is a vengeful God. No. In what context are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like an angry male to me. Didn't did it the if I'm talking to God, I'm going to expect that God to be much more intelligent than that, other than I'm cursing all black people and making them slaves and rape the woman and make her marry you, dash children with rocks. That's not the God that I'm familiar with. Okay, it's not. Uh, in fact, there has been a presence of many gods even before the Bible. So why would God himself say, I am the true God, don't worship or have any other gods before me? But didn't you create all these other gods? So, as a black person, all I see is confusion and chaos and hypocrisy. That's all I see. And I feel that that Bible is responsible for a lot of hatred and confusion, and it truly is. When I run into a non-conforming man, especially a black man, it's very refreshing. It really honestly is, because most of the black men that I know that are Christian, they kind of ignorant in my opinion. They're kind of ignorant. They're it's like they didn't really go mentally past Sunday school or something. And I'm not saying that there's not black Christian people out there, that are intelligent, that are not intelligent. I'm not saying that, but a lot of them are very abusive. They have low self-esteem. Okay. They don't think much of themselves. They want you to think not much of yourself. They're just not good people to me. They always have this bad energy around them. You know what I'm saying? In particular, and especially today. And it's really very scary, the whole concept of it, because when you look at the Bible, this God is telling mankind to punish and rape and murder, and that's all that they do. That's all they're constantly doing. And it's to me, the Bible is equivalent to having a false friend. Somebody that, or something that would pretend to be your friend, but they're actually not. And then another thing, here's the big giveaway for it. The Pretty much, you'll never see a Bible in my home ever. Is in the Bible when that God told somebody to murder their child to prove their faith or their loyalty. Uh, now I am a mother of four and I have a grandchild, and I love my children more than life itself. If I had to go into a burning building and save my children, I would just have to burn up, right? So if you have children, then you understand the love that a parent feels for their child. So if somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, God told you to murder your child to prove your faith in him," wouldn't you think that person was crazy? Wouldn't you be like, "Hell no, I ain't hurt my child," and you you pull your child closer to you? So I feel that religious people regard their children, a lot of them have, I mean, that I hear a lot of complaints and I see a lot of complaints, and there's like a literal outcry of people that have went through. Now every Christian person does not take it to that extreme. They don't. But there are some Christians who literally uh will sacrifice their children, almost similar to Jesus. And now that part of it doesn't make any sense, because if Jesus Christ made the ultimate sacrifice, then why do you feel that generationally you have to do the same thing? So none of this makes any sense to me. So if it doesn't make any sense, why in the hell should I fear it? And why should I believe that those are my instructions for my life? Like it's yeah, you can definitely learn. The one thing that I learned from the Bible is to never be Christian. That's literally what I learned from the Bible. Is to not trust that particular God. That's all I learned from it. Okay. So, people can have a problem with that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've never liked the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I've never gotten down with it. And then when you look at the world and you see people every single day committing horrific crimes, even against children, and then you see it in the Bible, it kind of, to me, it makes me relate one to the other. And I think that this whole downfall, from the Bible, and this separation from the Bible, it came probably back when I can't remember when the Andrea Yates incident happened. They actually made a movie. They actually made a scary movie. It was a horror movie called what, Baby Blues. And see, one of the reasons why I don't have a Bible in my house is because there's spirits attached to that Bible, very bad spirits, and I'm not trying to bring them into my home. It's not to say that I couldn't fight those spirits, but why would I even want to fight those spirits? I don't want to bring something in my house that's going to constantly have me in confusion and inner turmoil. Not that I would let it. I feel very strongly that there might be a Bible somewhere hidden in this house, though, somewhere in the walls. That's why. That's why. That's why I like to build my house from the ground. That's what I plan on doing. Cause I don't want my, I don't. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Why are Christians suicidal? That you see them in social media. They always predicting the end of the world, and when you go and look at videos of that, you'll see a bunch of Christians, and I don't know if these are bots, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll see a bunch of Christians praying for it to be over, praying for the world to end. Like, really? Is And so it reminds you of a cult that has just gotten bigger and bigger. There's this movie that I want to recommend to y'all as well. I can't think of the name of it. I'll try to link it on my community wall. But it's this movie about these witches, and they were like in a kind of like a small town, and all of these church people were worshiping the God of the Bible, and the God of the Bible made all their crops dry up. Literally gave them a bunch of bad luck and bad juju. But the witches that lived down the road, they crops was still growing. Now everybody in the town suspected that they were witches. They were all worshiping the Christian God, and the witches, well, they're not worshiping the Christian God, obviously, right? Okay. This man from the church went down to these witches' house to harass them and threaten them and accuse them. He literally went and told them. He said, "We know," basically in a nutshell, he said, "We know you're witches, and why are you doing so well and we're not doing well? Our crops are drying up. Are you doing that?" And the witch was like, no. Look at the God that you're worshiping. So your God allowed a witch to dry up your crops? Are you even listening to your stupid self?" They was showing these people at church every Sunday, praying and praying and praying. They lives just getting worse and worse and worse. Crops drying up. The witches down the road a little bit, they got everything going on. They crops growing. They got fruits and vegetables and shit, fruit trees. You know what I'm saying? They got meat. They animals wasn't sick or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Literally, all of the Christians had a serious fucking plague going on. Instead of them thinking, maybe this God that I'm worshiping is either not hearing us or doesn't give a damn. Here's another point I want to make. Your God is the all powerful, and Satan is the adversary. Why on earth, why on Satan's green earth does your God allow Satan to torture you then? Why? You say your God is more powerful than Satan, than the devil, who is the adversary, right? Right? So why doesn't your God not allow the devil that you claim is doing something to you? Why does that God allow it to happen in the first place? It's just because it's a nice little joke for you. It's a little joke. So, that's why I don't, and I personally feel like that God has abandoned Christians or something. I don't, just call me crazy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that God done abandoned them or something because it seemed like they act like abandoned children sometimes, like, and then they'll even abandon their own children, and they're very confused. They can't get with the program a lot, and people will look at Christians that have money, right? And they'll say, well, this person is Christian and they have money and they seem to be okay, but that them having that money had nothing to do with Christianity. That might have been money that they worked for their whole life, or maybe they have a successful business, or maybe that money was in their family for generations. That doesn't mean that Christian God gave them money. And I was telling somebody that I know, I said, well, Jesus was actually homeless. He lived from house to house. Jesus Christ wasn't a rich man. He was born in like what is that, a manger or something, right? That was back then, during biblical times. And so this person said, well, that's not true. I said, well, look it up. I said, yes, it is true. If you actually read the Bible, you would know that Jesus Christ was a carpenter by trade, and then he left his job to go and preach this gospel. And he mainly and primarily lived off of different women. And that's not that I'm saying anything negative about Jesus Christ. I actually like Jesus Christ. I have nothing against Jesus. But, a lot of them will think that Christianity is connected to this wealth and opulence when it actually isn't. So, and it has nothing to do with money. I don't get it. So, anyway, back to the original topic. I think that Christianity is harmful for blacks. No, I don't think that black people have to go around being mad at white people because of slavery. I don't think that you'll have a very happy and fulfilling life. I wouldn't suggest that, because you have the right to live your life, don't you? Yes, you do. But I feel that it is a voluntary, it's a voluntary slavery. It is. And I'm not into it. I'm not into it. And I don't understand why any black person is. So, that's pretty much. Sis, did you have anything to say about that? Because I know this. Hold on, real. All right, let me make sure. I was just making sure nobody had commented. For me, I'm gonna tell you, it as it becomes very clear to me, it makes me dislike especially Christian men, because they are in those chains, and I feel like they're trying to attach me to those chains, and I'll never let you do it. You know what I'm saying? So it really, really, really bothers me. It really bothers me when I run into a black man that's Christian, because I feel that he's not very smart for doing that. I don't feel that you're very intelligent. I don't feel that you actually have considered what you're a part of, and that you really don't know. And that you're just doing like what everybody else does, and you're making excuses. Okay, fine. You want to be a black man and you want to be Christian. Well, leave me the hell alone. Don't, and I don't mean leave me alone in the sense go away, I don't want to be bothered with you. But don't try to project that to me, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is, because what you're doing is just constantly struggling with yourself. You're like a caged lion. And it's not that you're a caged animal to where you're going to go out and start chopping people's heads off. No, you're almost like this person that's purposely destroying yourself, and then you want to, want other people to be a buddy. And it's like, well, why don't you check your religion, because maybe that's what's making you feel that way. I mean, you're reading Psalms in the Bible and you're reading all this other stuff in the Bible that makes sense, but did you read the curse of Ham? Did you read everything else? Like, what are you cherry picking? You picking out the good from the bad? And then also, are you trying to use that Bible to enslave other people? And do you realize the possible karmic ramifications of doing so? Right? There's got to be, like, so you'll read the curse of Ham, and so are you gonna try to use that doctrine to try to put me in some kind of slavery? Because I don't think so. I am a satanic witch that directly works with Satan. And honestly, I don't care about nothing that you say. You can't tell me anything about my craft, because I simply don't believe that you're intelligent enough to do that. Especially when you haven't thought about, why did you conform to this religion, and why are you trying to make me to conform with it? Why are you trying to force me to conform with it? And trying to do it in a very covert way. So that, that's my issue with it. And so, um I don't know, like I said, I'm waiting on my fire pit to get here. It should be here soon, and I'll be outside foraging and stuff. So, I'll be doing my rituals and things of that nature. I've got all my herbs gathered and stuff. And I just wanted to say that to a lot of black people, like, but I feel like if you're the type of person that goes to one extreme to the other, that you're probably not ready to walk away from that religion. When somebody tells you that, why is your first instinct death and destruction to the person? Why are you so violent? Do you not realize that there are a lot of people who are hurt every single day because of the evil of the Bible? Do you not know how to relate one to the other? Do you not understand that there are people talking about this every single day, about just how the world is in turmoil because of it? And it's not just on Easter Sunday. I don't, I'm not saying that I hate what Biden did or whatever, but because I don't, I kind of think that that was a little traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Because Biden blatantly disrespected Christianity. He did. He did it in a slick way, but he definitely disrespected Christians. He did. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Christians. I'm saying to you very diplomatically, okay, I did kind of disrespect you by saying that. I did. I was a little disrespectful when I said that black men are stupid for being Christian. It's okay. Y'all have disrespected me enough, so I owed you one. But that is stupid. Like, I'm sorry for you to be Christian, and I don't think that that even has anything to do with you celebrating the resurrection of Christ. Okay, I celebrate it. Okay, I, you know, but I'm saying that as a totality, don't you think that that is responsible for a lot of the turmoil that you're in? And that witches are simply just not thinking about you? Because I noticed that there's a lot of men, black male preachers on here, and they are constantly talking about witchcraft. And I'm thinking, well, your religion itself is witchcraft. I mean, what the hell? Eh, witches are trying to make it and help out in a world that's confused and in chaos as much as possible. I'm not saying that witches don't do nothing bad. And I actually was going to make a quick video about that, about curses and stuff, and witches being careful by not causing too much chaos, you know what I'm saying, and doing things just for no reason, doing things frivolously. But in reality, if you are a Christian, no matter what race you are, and you got a bunch of chaos and confusion, why is the first thing that you think of witches or Satanists? Why is that the first place that you go? Do you not realize that there are people in the church that are not perfect? You realize that your church family could be praying against you? Why is it that they always blame it on witchcraft? When in reality, witches and spiritualists and brujas alike have taught y'all how to remove that stuff. But yet you still don't appreciate it, and you still blame everything on witchcraft. When I can confirm to you that I've actually had real Bible curses put on me, and I'm a witch. And I'm a witch. And them Bible curses come on really fast. Hey, Kinsley's mommy. Them Bible curses come on really fast. They can leave just as fast, but they come on very fast. And it just doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense for people to be deploying those spirits and conjuring them Bible spirits, them very primitive, very misogynistic, very outdated spirits, and conjuring them upon women and children that are not, they just trying to live their life. So that, I was sitting here one day, and I realized that that it was the spirit of uh, uh um what's that spirit called? It was a bad Bible spirit. And I said, who in the hell sent this here? And so of course I hurried up and got it up out of my house the witchy way. I don't have to read from the Bible to get rid of a bad spirit. But it wasn't anything that I had conjured. It was something that somebody had sent. It was a slavery spirit. It was a spirit that was trying to bind me up or something. And just was like, and I was like, what the hell is this? And so I got it up out of here, y'all, real quick. But it just is not good. And I think in the future, I think that Christians, they do feel persecuted a lot. And there's a good reason for that. It's because a lot of those Bible spirits are very problematic. So if you're a Christian and you feel persecuted, that would be why. And this has nothing to do with, any problem or ism that we have in this society, but it's just that, and it's not just for, it's they're not just problematic for blacks, but all across the board. It's very problematic. So I'm not trying to talk you out of being Christian. I'm trying to let you know that you're going to have to go through that on your own. You know what I'm saying? You're going to deal with that on your own. And you can't expect other people to conform to that, because you have to understand why we don't. And we have a very good reason to. Well, yeah, that's true, Kinsley's mommy. That's true. But and here's the thing, Christians act like, oh, I'm gonna put a Bible curse on you. It's gonna be the worst thing that ever happened. But it's like, honey, witches have been reversing Bible curses for the longest. Okay. So, it's just not it to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they don't want to accept that. It's like they want to be bullies. It's like a lot of them want to be bullies, and they want to be the baddest, and they want to be the most powerful. And it's like, but when do we get to live though? Generationally, when do we get to live? Like are we going to ever get to live a life? You know what I'm saying? Because and I don't want to debate about it. I really don't, because it's not going to change how I feel. But I just think that that's the one thing about it. And don't you want to be free from slavery? And freedom from slavery does not necessarily mean getting some kind of vengeance or violence against white people. No, I don't condone that at all, because I feel just as equally a lot of white people have a lot of past life regressions because of that. And so in this generation, a lot of them that really, those, they're not generationally benefiting from slavery, not necessarily. Neither are we. And they, but it's haunting them. You know what I'm saying? What was done. And so I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. I like to live my life in peace. Okay. I don't like to think too complicated, about life in general. You know what I'm saying? If there's work that I need to do as a witch, then I'll do it. But otherwise, um I don't sit around every day trying to figure out, how I can bring hell into somebody's life that ain't did nothing to me. Right? So I don't do things like that. I don't, y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, the Hebrew Israelite Capricorn doesn't believe the Bible has curses in it. What? Oh my God, because he ain't read it. He ain't read it. And I can tell you that most of the time, what I get, I don't even necessarily sense the God of the Bible. What I sense is the confusion of the follower of that religion. And as human beings, we're going to communicate with each other whether or not we talk or not. So it's the feeling that I get from them, which is just like, God, are you okay? Are you okay? Because the sun came up this morning, it's very positive. Did you hug a tree today? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that, what's that movie? Is it The Passion of the Christ? Kinsley's mommy. When they, when the dude was sitting in the room and he was covered in white powder and he was just beating himself all day, and it's just like, oh my God, like, calm down, bro, calm. It just is sad, man. Like it, and they're just very upset about it. Like, God dang. And what do you think is gonna happen? Y'all, I got some spiced Coca-Cola. Oh God, there's zero sugar. Well, that may help. But that, no, actually, that's probably why it tastes funny to me. Don't ever get spiced Coca-Cola ever. I decided to try it, and why didn't I get the regular Coca-Cola? Why? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, some of the research that I've done on Christianity years ago, it's like, especially the Last Supper. Remember, in the Last Supper, a UFO was sighted. Whoever painted that portrait, it was literally an alien, like a UFO in the background. And so I kind of feel like that was a sign of, this religion came from an alien that hates you. You know what I'm saying? I almost kind of like, you know, That movie Independence Day, I don't know, kind of makes you think like that a little bit, because it's kind of like, I don't want my mind to be enslaved, and and not having it in, not being in slavery or in shackles or in enslaved doesn't equal necessarily going out and being a lesbian or bisexual or a gay person. What the hell does that have to do with the other one? So there are a lot of people that are Satanists that are straight. Also, another thing, it just, eh, you know, uh, being straight and love and sex and being in love is not, Christians and religious people don't own those things, and I think that a lot of them believe that you're not allowed to have love or be loved if you're not Christian. And that's I think that that's a part of the brain degeneration or something, because what, like, they almost act like, oh, you're not Christian, oh well, you don't deserve love. Oh, okay, well, I love myself, so isn't that enough? Okay, thank you. Thank you, I'll just sit over here and love myself. Oh, those kids you got, oh, maybe you don't need them. Over my dead body, will you touch my kids? Yeah. So they want to relate everything good and wholesome to being religious, and that just ain't it. That just ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. And it just, especially for black people. And so it's just very scary. You know what I'm saying? The concept of it, it's like, most black people are caught up in it. And so, as soon as they find out that you're a witch, or as soon as they find out that you're a witch, you automatically are a devil worshiper. So you might as well just worship the devil. I mean, shit, because that's the first thing that they think. Because, technically, there is no such thing as a Christian witch. You can be Christian and try to cast spells, but there's literally no such thing as that. It literally forbids it in the Bible. Yeah, hell Satan. Oh, are you? Nice. That's gonna be nice. I think I'm gonna do love spells that day. I already got my Kinsley's mommy. I ain't even gonna go there to my spell work. But I'm gonna do some love spells, you know what I'm saying? Cause I don't know, like, I feel like also another thing, like I was mentioning in that movie, it's about jealousy. Why would that man go down there? I'm gonna find out the name. I'm about to get out of here, y'all, but I'm gonna find out the name of that movie, and I'm gonna let y'all know in the community wall, on the community wall, what the name of it is. Because this man literally, and it's like, are you really this stupid? Like, why are your crops okay and our crops are bad? Uh Maybe because I worship the earth, and I appreciate the earth. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I watered my lawn. Maybe I poured a little bit of my menstrual blood on my yard, and maybe that's what enriched it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And he was just like, our crops are dying while yours are thriving, and you witch. And oh, so I did that. That was my fault that happened. Well, why'd your God let it happen then? Why? So your God just let a witch curse your crops? So that don't even make no sense. Maybe perhaps if you talk to the earth God, maybe your crops wouldn't have died. instead of talking to a God that's constantly threatening to kill you. I mean, that's just hey, I'm just using logic here, okay? I'm just using logic here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, really, Kenzie's mommy? You going to have to text me about that. My God is the all powerful living God, but you were able to mess me up. Make that make sense to me. It doesn't. He's either incompetent or a sadist. A sadist. Sawdust. I don't know why I thought about sawdust. It just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, and then it's very uncomfortable that, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot, a lot of the black men that I know that are Christian, when I talk to them, they seem possessed or something. Like, what the, like, what is the problem here? They saying things that don't make no sense and they hate women. I definitely don't think that the God of the Bible like women at all. I'm just saying, just guessing. Okay. Sadist or doesn't exist. Eh. Well, I mean, I just don't think that he cares much. He's like, well, I told you who I was. Like, if their God disappoints them and doesn't answer their prayers, does he say to you, I told you who I was? Hey, you knew what this was. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's weird, man. Choose better for yourself. And then when they do get into Satanism, they still in that spirit. They want to get vengeance on all the witches. Like, wait a minute. I thought you came over here on our side, and here you are trying to use, what we know to try to hurt us. Don't do that. What are you doing? And then that's when these spirits and stuff know you full of crap because you can't come over to the left hand path moving like that. You can't move like you did when you was a Christian. Dealing with the demons and spirits and stuff. You can't move like that. You can't be full of crap because too many of the witches is feeding them entities and stuff. Okay, and then y'all come over. Well, I'm gonna join you this side just so I can get some vengeance, and they be like, whoa. They be like, whoa, whoa. No. Oh God. Is it safe to say that religion and spirituality is not all about getting vengeance on somebody? Just saying, And I think that's why I think that if you do ultimately want to be on the left hand path, that maybe perhaps you should start out with some nice pagan gods so that they can sort of get you ready, and then you can, because for you to come in that spirit because that's all I see them doing is just constantly wanting vengeance on somebody, and I'm gonna get you, and it's like, for what? Like, I was literally sitting here minding my own business. What the hell? What? Why are you starting a war with me? They be literally starting a war with you, and then they'll go to Satan and be like, I want war on this person. And Satan will be like, go back to church. I know that's right, Kinsley's mommy. And Satan be like, you need to go back to church, hon, because you're not ready for me. Because Satan, I see Satan the same way. Like, Lilith is a little bit more harsher than Satan. Satan is a very peaceful God, very peaceful. He will do some things though, but and he don't like when you disturb his peace. He just like sitting there and and he do something. He can't stand hypocrisy. He can't stand people polluting his earth. He don't like that either. He don't like none of that. And he's just kind of like chilling. And but he's been present a lot, especially over the weekend, especially the past week. Because of the consistent psychic attacks and spiritual attacks and stuff that's been happening coming from the church. So he's been very present, very present. And I don't believe those attacks are necessarily coming from a god, but rather a person that's possibly using their psychic knowledge and their foresight to attack. And it's like, well, why are you attacking? Like, okay, so now I got to put up my defense. Okay, here we go with this shit again. Goodness gracious. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, and then Satan, and people that are walking the left hand path, to drift back and forth to say, oh, Monday through Saturday, I'm totally satanic. But then on Sunday, I'm not. And he's sitting up here looking at you like, really? Yeah, I don't get it. It's so bizarre. And they be literally scared. Like, I understand a lot of them are afraid. And people do weird stuff when they scared. They do weird stuff. But I think that they need to let go of that fear, and maybe they will be more peaceful people to be around. And then you can't use that religion again. It's dangerous. What's going to backfire is if you try to use Christian magic to get back at white people for slavery. No, that's not going to work, honey. uh because the Bible condones slavery, so they're in good company. So how about you just try to appreciate life and try to leave all that other stuff in the past? Maybe, I mean, I understand racism comes up, I understand that, but us witches, we handle those things differently. And it's not with death magic. A lot of people always say, was it death magic? Well, no, we just work that situation out. We do. If we feel like we've been discriminated against based upon our race, we handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to murder nobody or, do we don't even have to curse nobody, really, to be honest with you. Man, all I know is that all the way across the board, I think Christianity is dangerous for Black people. And I think it's dangerous. I think it's bad for the whole world personally, but especially a Black person. Like, uh you know what I mean? So that's just what that is. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna sit here and relax a little bit for a spell because I gotta go outside and forage. I didn't get to do it yesterday. I had a lot to do yesterday, and I did get it. I did get a lot done yesterday, so I'm proud of myself. But today I'm gonna do my burnt offerings, or whatever you want to call them, which is, I wouldn't say that they're burnt offerings. No, they're not burnt offerings. They are more so me making contact or connecting with the universe, and all of that stuff. So yeah, it is. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice, Kinsley's mommy. Okay, y'all, I gotta go. Y'all have a happy Sunday, and I'll be seeing y'all a little later. I'll get some footage of the bonfire that I'm doing in my fire pit and everything, and I'm gonna try to gather up as much as possible. And I gotta go out there during the day while it's still light, so I only have a few more hours, so I'm gonna get that done. And so I'll catch y'all later. Okay. All right, y'all have a good day. Okay. Blessings. Bye bye. Oh, before I go, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Okay, and subscribe and share because my channel's been under attack by religious folks. And yeah, I don't think you'd go through that if you wasn't black. Like it was mainly black folk that was attacking me. That's a real deal Holyfield with that black Christians. Yeah, who shouldn't be Christian in the first place. Thank you for that. You know. Thank you. I appreciate that more than you know. All right, y'all. Blessings. Bye.